Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed the first part. Now for part 2 of our awesome reptile tour at Wildfire Retics, where we start seeing the big snakes and we really get into some questions about genetics, starting with this guy.
But a classic purple to me, when done correctly, I don't think there's much that beats it. And this is my girl. I did not produce her. Again, that credit goes to my boy Paul Lucas, the retic keeper. Paul has a purple female. This girl's mom named Sunshine, and this girl is aptly named Soleil because she is just as bright as her mom.
And her head just glows.
Yeah, so that is part of what I believe you have to have a real purple retic. Without that super bright yellow head and the yellow underbelly like that, you're just not really dealing with a real purple, in my opinion. And again, I'm not talking smack on anybody else's program or their snakes, but this is what a purple should look like. And I got her from Paul because of Sunshine, because of how incredible she was. And so that is her half sister there, that purple GC. And then I actually have her half brother over here in this rack that is a purple phantom. So I have a offspring from every one of Sunshine's clutches.
Wow.
So, and that is because she just throws the best purples. So, and the other thing, so this girl's 3 years old. She just turned 3 in March. So, you can kind of see the progression. We went from over there with the babies to, the 40 quart racks. This is a 6 foot cage, and she's probably good in this cage for about another eight, maybe 9 months, and then she's gonna need to move up. These are only 6x30s, so if it was a 6x3, she'd be good in it for at least another year or so. But that's one thing. It's not just the length that retics need; it's the depth. And that 3 foot, you wouldn't think the difference that 6 inches between 30 inches and 36 inches is that big of a deal, but it makes a big difference. Hi, sweetheart.
Don't you just love it when they're over your face?
Hi
That's
there.
the best.
She's one of the few I'll let do that. Most of them I'm not as comfortable with them, but when you have, and that's the other thing I always tell people when people ask about retics. It's a whole different story when you just get one, like say this size, versus when you get one as a baby and it fits in your hands and you can raise it and you can grow with it. Your knowledge grows with it, your experience grows with it, and you learn the snake's behavior. There's quite a few snakes in this collection that I would not be nearly as comfortable doing this with or letting them come up that close to my face, either because I didn't raise them from a baby, or I did and I know their attitude.
Right.
They're just not. they're not a snake I want that close. This is actually a great example of the difference between a purple and a Mochino. So this is my girl Penelope. Oh, are you hungry? And that right there is why you never just stick your hand in a retic's cage.
That is correct.
Everybody always wonders why I'm always using a hook. That's why. I like my hands.
Yep.
So this is Penelope. This is my 3-year-old female Mochino. So she's another one that we'll give another year or two before we try to get her on eggs. She was produced by Jay Gonzalez, and to me, she's pretty much perfect in terms of what you're looking for a Mochino. She could be a little bit darker on her T+ coloring on her purple, but other than that, just what I'm gonna make with her, and I've already got it in mind. I'm not gonna say it, but what I'm gonna make with her, I've got the right male for it, and I'll get exactly the coloring I want. Cool. Hi.
So for kids out there, what is the difference or the distinction between the purple albino, because there's a couple of albinos out there, and then the Mochino?
So you can see right there next to each other. So one, the saddle coloring, hers is like a berry, like almost a cranberry, versus that being a true purple. It also, Soleil's yellow is a true yellow, where this, it's almost a blend of like a mustard color a little bit. It's not that true, just like bright sunshine yellow. It also, again, my opinion, a purple should have a bright yellow head like that. A Mochino should have a white head.
Okay.
And that's, again, not all breeders will agree because there's lots of Mochinos out there with yellow heads, how it should look. And if you look at the original wild caught Mocha male, bright white head like that, bone white. White albino retic. This was the retic I originally wanted. as my first retic. This girl was also produced by Paul Lucas. She's 4, so there's another, you can see the difference, what an extra year makes. And this girl will breed this year. So you saw, they're not sisters, but you saw Soleil, you saw Penelope. Now this is Aspen, and you can see just the girth difference between them. That extra year, it just gives them what they need, especially for breeding. So a couple of very large females here. This girl down here, her name is Queen D. She is my Bali Yellowhead. She's about, this glass is gonna mess with me again. She's about 8 years old, and she's right about 17 and a half feet, somewhere in the 100-pound range. I don't totally know. And
there we go.
So, and as you can see, classic Bali Yellowhead. She's actually the snake. If any of you guys have Sid James's book, Retics, she is the Bali Yellowhead that's featured in the book.
Nice.
So, and she has been a project for me, not necessarily in terms of attitude, but in terms of getting her to breed. I've been trying to get her on eggs for the past 3 seasons, and it just hasn't worked. So we're gonna give it a go again this season. I actually have my oldest male over there is a 15-year-old Bali Yellowhead male that was produced by Nota Howe. Nota hasn't been in the game for quite a while. He was known for his Balis though. I'm gonna try to get these 2 bred this season. That's my goal, to bring some locality to the game. But let's see if we can stretch all the way out. There we go. Nuts. So, and then people always ask, like, are they fast? Well, yeah, when they want to be fast, even at this size, they're not small.
They can move for sure.
Come on.
It's not a racer, but they can move.
Yeah. No, they can have this girl. People often ask me what my favorite snake is, and I try not to place favorites, but as you can see, I just opened her cage. I don't have a hook. This is Diamond, and I tell people all the time, she's the jewel of my collection, and that's for a multitude of reasons. One is her attitude and her temperament. Number 2, so this is Two Faces' mom.
Okay.
So you can see the paradoxing on her.
Yep.
So she's a platinum motley, which she should look like that, but she's completely silver.
Okay.
Again, produced by my good buddy Paul Lucas. If you haven't figured it out by now, I have quite a few snakes from Paul. He and I share a lot of similarities in what we like and what we look for in our animals. That's why I've gotten so many from him. But this girl, as I said, she's a platinum motley. She's het white albino, and we are both pretty positive she's also het anery, which would make her het snow.
Okay.
And that is a big reason why we both believe she basically is a silver snake. She basically looks like an anery snake. She's not a visual anery, that's 100% fact, but we are very, very, I don't want to say certain, but confident that she is het anery. And I will prove that out this season. I tried to prove it out last season. Unfortunately, the male I used was a first season breeder. I used him on too many females, and Diamond slugged out.
Just because I know someone's gonna question you because everybody does balls. So I noticed that you do Aspen in almost every single one of your cages.
I do. So I do it for a multitude of reasons. And there are some snakes that I still use paper on. Sometimes it depends on the time of year. So normally, in summertime, I will use paper more often because my temps are running hotter.
Okay.
And their digestive systems are running quicker, and they poop and pee more. I haven't been since I've been here in Utah for a couple of reasons. One, and it seems crazy, here in Park City, it's a lot more humid than it was where I had my last facility in Castle Rock, Colorado. And the humidity that these cages hold on their own is very, very good. With the paper, what I'm finding is that they're almost holding too much humidity.
Interesting.
And again, it's a balance, right?
Right.
These are jungle animals. They need really high humidity, but they can't be sitting in water. They're not an aquatic species. And so what I've found since I've been here is that one, the Aspen keeps it to where it's manageable. When I measure humidity in these cages, it's staying somewhere between 65 and 75%. At the same time, if these guys spill their water, which they do all the time, and since I've been here in Utah, I've been much busier with my primary businesses, it's much easier for that to get spilled in Aspen and for that to dry up in 2 or 3 days than it be paper substrate and the whole cage is literally an ocean and they're lit and they're laying in water.
There's just so much stuff going on there at Wildfire, everybody. So we had to break this into 3 full separate parts. So hopefully you enjoy just seeing the really cool thing going on with that. This one, we got to see the really big snakes and everything that's cool and stuff like that. This next one, it's going to see, essentially, it's a little sneak peek into what Wildfire is getting into next time, as well as some stuff with, if you guys follow Wildfire, you know a couple names that are going to pop up here in this next part 3 video. Stay tuned. Hope you enjoy it.